Do you know what really grinds my gutti? It's how Gurdwara treats celebrities, in particular politicians. The reason why this is such a big problem should be obvious to everybody watching. Just in case it's not, we did a Gurdwara Sunday on it a couple of weeks ago. So here's the deal. Your average Gurdwara is a place where any Sikh goes to learn from their Guru, the Guru Granth Sahib. As well as having the opportunity to engage with your Guru, listening to the Shabad being read aloud, perhaps reading it, and obviously just being able to contemplate as it's being read aloud, you also have the opportunity to engage in seva and then break bread with your fellow man. That's what we call langar. And one of the key points about being in a Gurdwara is that every single person who comes there is the same as everybody else. That's not how it rolls. You see, all Gurdwara in the West in particular are managed by a committee. And what the committee tends to do when a celebrity shows up is shut everything down. That's right, if you're in the queue to matha take, then get out the way because they're going to get pushed to the head of the queue. And there you are thinking that you're only 3 spots away from getting that paneer and dahi and kheer into your thal. But no, you got to hold up because the celebrity's here, and then of course all the committee going to fill their tray at the same time too. And remember that time that you went and asked the uncle sitting behind the stage if you could go up on stage to say something? It might have been Visakhi, you wanted to share a little poem that you'd written, or perhaps it was a pressing issue of the day and you wanted to share with the Sangat about what Sikhs should be doing. And of course the stage wala uncle said to you, "Nahi pota time nahi hega." Yeah, remember that feeling? Well, guess what? Because the celebrities here, they get 5 minutes on stage. Now this situation is completely crazy because a Gurdwara is supposed to be the complete opposite of a place where celebrity status gives you special treatment. But with no individuals is this brought more into focus than politicians. Oh my days, when a politician shows up at the Gurdwara, it's like all nark have broken loose. All pugs are off, and every single committee member that, you know, looks like they're ready up for a fight all the time, well, guess what? Their tongues become silver. Or should that be brown? Yeah, they start right up with the ass kissing. And I don't mean like with the you're really good, but I mean the proper, here's the butt, let me see how much I can lick it. And here in the West, it makes no sense. You are currying favor, usually with local politicians that have got no power to do anything. Take the ex-Labour Party leader here in the United Kingdom. In the run-up to the general election of the summer of 2015, he visited a Gurdwara in Warwick where he had the door closed behind him because he didn't want any dodgy PR photos that would be taken. Why the hell did the committee agree to shut the doors behind them? That means if I wanted to go to that Gurdwara Matha take that moment, I couldn't because Ed Miliband was wandering around. This is a dude that completely got trounced at the elections. He was going to be of no influence and no value to whatsoever. Why did you give him so much kudos? Of course, it gets worse than that. When David Cameron turned up to Gravesend Gurdwara in the same general election run-up, the Gurdwara decided that it was clever to turn down the volume on an Akhand Path that was running at the time. That's what you call real beadabi. And that's not the only place where it stops. Recently, Canada, Stephen Harper, the Prime Minister, turned up at a Gurdwara. This dude's in a video with his back semi-turned to the Guru Granth Sahib to talk about how much he enjoys doing seva and engages with the local community. Guess what, Steve? If you want to show that you're really in tune with the Sikh community, start behaving in the way that we will respect you. Guru's Darbar is not a backdrop to your election campaign. Then we got the king of them all, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Why would I have an issue with him going into a Gurdwara? Genocide perpetrator, right-wing Hindu nationalist, two-faced hypocrite. So the Narendra Modi issue is a huge one because most of the West did not want to know about this guy. And then, of course, he got elected in to actually become the Prime Minister of India. So the West had to rethink how it was going to deal with him. And I can get that. That's how countries roll. But here's the problem. We don't treat anybody with any special treatment. And if you're somebody who even has a hint of having perpetrated genocide, you are not going to be allowed into our darbars to speak from the stage. But oh no, Gurdwara committees don't go down like that. They don't just give him time on stage. They give this dude a siropa and they give him a big karpan and they give him all of this kudos and say, you're a real top guy. Go Google this guy turning up at a Gurdwara in British Columbia in Canada earlier this year. You will see there was a whole bunch of Sangat outside this Gurdwara protesting because he was coming to the Gurdwara and they weren't allowed into the Gurdwara. Yeah, that's right. The entire Gurdwara was shut down because Modi showed up. You got these clowns who call themselves Sikhs running that Gurdwara, but also actually coming to argue with the protesters outside. Shout out to Harwinder Singh, the only protester who actually got arrested that day. Like, what is it about some of these Sikhs that makes them want to butt kiss all of these politicians? They are nothing special. But of course, how can I be shocked that Gurdwara are behaving in this way with celebrities and particularly politicians, when of course our headquarters, the Darbar Sahib and the Akal Takht in Amritsar, is the place that is leading the line on this one. They've welcomed everyone from David Cameron to Narendra Modi and given them sarupe, shut it down to other people coming into Matha Tek, rushed them all to the front of the queue, showed them around and said, wow, look at all of this gold that we collected in this Darbar. Really starting to get to the end of my tether, and I don't know where to go with this stuff anymore. Sikhdom is in a whack place right now. Because guess what? People like me and the few hundred of you who watch this are the only ones who are going to give a damn. And then when it comes down to it, it's only going to be the odd banda like Harwinder Singh in Canada who's actually going to turn up to put their damn name on the line and say, I'll get arrested, but I ain't letting this fool come into the Gurdwara without knowing that we give a damn and we ain't going to let him do it unchallenged. So I guess the challenge is when Modi comes to the US and the UK in coming months and gets invited to a Gurdwara, which you know he will, what are we all going to do about it? And that's why Gurdwara giving celebrities, particularly politicians, special treatment grinds my gutti. If you have something you want to get off your case, then come grind your gutti at Nojawani.
Subscribe!